Welcome to Support Life, a program focusing on current social issues from a life-affirming perspective. I'm Gavin Bolch and my guest is Bethany Toohey from Youth Missions Team Australia. Welcome, Bethany.
Thanks, Gavin.
We did discuss earlier that Bethany's a lovely name.
Yeah, thank you.
Good, so live up to it.
Aww.
Well, let's wind the clock back a little bit, and we're going to go to the letter W in New South Wales.
Yes.
Why is W important?
Well, I'm from Wollongong in New South Wales, just on the east coast there.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice.
Okay. But you did come from Sydney originally?
Yeah, I was born in Sydney, and then a couple of years later I moved to Wollongong with my family.
Okay. And fun years?
Yeah, definitely. Really enjoyed it, yeah.
Uh-huh. So where was school initially?
I started at a local primary school, but we actually spent most of my primary school years homeschooling at home, and then I moved on to go to an all-girls private school.
Okay, so that means you moved away from a couple of brothers, huh?
I did, yep.
Okay, was that good?
It was good to get a break away from all the boys in the house.
Oh, was it? Okay, all right. We hope Dad's not offended by that.
Yeah, hopefully not.
All right, so you were the eldest child?
Yes, yes.
Bossy?
Yep, the bossy older sister.
Oh, okay. All right, and homeschool, what was special about that? What's good about homeschool?
We really enjoyed homeschooling as a family, especially because we grew so close together, and we really felt really protected from everything that was happening at school, and it was a really great chance to really make those foundational relationships as a family and grow in our faith and feel really comforted and safe at home.
Yeah, so the spiritual formation and life skills really happens, doesn't it?
Definitely, and that stayed with us for ages.
Okay. In fact, we could say to folks out there to consider homeschool maybe.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a great time. Yeah.
Okay. So primary school leads to high school. Where'd you go?
So I went to the local girls' school, which was St Mary's, which I loved. It was very open to all girls' opportunities. They had heaps of arts and crafts and sport and everything you could imagine. So it was really good. It really catered to my needs.
Sport you would have been pretty good at with
having the boys.
The boys?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Okay, what in particular?
My favourite sports when I was younger were netball, but particularly just growing up with boys, I just got used to footy and soccer, and I truly got into every single sport. I was really open to anything.
Okay, so you didn't have two left feet?
No, not really.
Right.
I really loved my dancing in particular.
Okay, so there's the magic word, you see, dancing. So St Mary's did something that I hadn't heard of a private school doing.
Yeah.
At least it's not common.
Yeah,
and that was?
We did liturgical dancing, which was really amazing. The school was a Catholic school, and they really wanted us to get involved in all the liturgies and masses we had. So that was a really great opportunity for us to get out and perform. Okay,
so tell me a bit more about that.
Well, we had training just before each liturgy, but basically we just came down with the offertory procession each time and just did a beautiful piece that we danced with, and it was really just a great opportunity just to really feel involved in those kind of things. Yeah.
Okay. Did you do any choreography?
Yeah, we got opportunities as we were older in high school to be the choreographers of the group and really teach the younger girls and get everyone involved in the liturgical dancing.
Okay, so sport, a left foot and a right foot,
yeah.
Liturgical dancing,
yeah.
And you love dancing?
Yes.
Okay, how much do you love dancing?
It's such a big part of my life. I really love it. It's so much. So much so that I'd love to pursue a career in dance. Yeah.
Okay, so dance is part of the arts curriculum. Why do you think arts might be important to reach today's generation?
I think particularly with the entertainment industry just skyrocketing and evolving and really being really attractive to a lot of young kids these days, I think it's really important in the industry to really get in there and really bring out a positive message from this industry, because there are so many negative connotations coming through at the moment, and I'd really love to really be involved in that and really bring a positive aspect to that.
Okay. Well, from Wollongong you move to Melbourne.
Yes.
Why are you here?
I came here to join the Youth Mission Team Australia, which it's just been an amazing experience. It's been a great opportunity to work with the youth and just to work on mission and be a full-time volunteer for this time. So I've really enjoyed being here in Melbourne.
Okay, but there was a time as a young adult when you were pulling away a little bit from what you knew in the family and even about missions?
Yeah, particularly during my later years in high school, I felt that there was a real connection between my parents and my faith, but I felt that that wasn't my connection, and I felt that I had to abide by those rules and be obedient. So I did really pull away from my faith a little bit and from my parents just for a few years, and I really noticed those long-lasting foundations in me.
All right, so we could call that a sort of a redemptive move, which had good outcomes.
Definitely.
Okay, so how would you define the outcomes?
As completely positive and beautiful, just realising where I was brought up and why I was brought up, and the way my parents have always supported me, especially my faith in particular, and those lasting and really strong roots of homeschooling and being close as a family were really beneficial and really there the whole time for me.
All right, so as a young adult, you received something from the missions team or the Mission Team Australia. Is it like pay it forward?
Definitely, I reckon it's definitely a chance to really give back after receiving as a younger adult myself. But really, that chance to really help other people has been really beneficial to me. I've really loved it.
Okay, and do you have a chance to use the arts in this time in Melbourne?
Yeah, definitely a little bit, especially in connection with other young youth who are really interested in the same thing. I feel like that can be a real connection, and it can be really easy for kids to really understand that and realise that we like other stuff that they like too. And that's been a real connection point for me with other kids. All
right. What opportunities do you have to bare your soul to these young kids or other teenagers?
Particularly, we give testimonies and talks and really get to know these kids and build relationships that they can really be comfortable in. So I think just coming up and being open and vulnerable to the kids and just being honest with our journeys is what really helps them to really see what we've gone through, and give them hope as well themselves.
Okay, so it sounds like a Tolkien Lord of the Rings story.
Yeah, could be.
Okay, keep that thought. You're watching Support Life, and we'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Support Life. I'm Gavin Bolch, and my guest is Bethany Toohey from Youth Missions Team Australia. Bethany, we're into Act 2. We've done Act 1. We've looked at the early part of your life. Mm-hmm. Act 2 is kind of the middle piece, and you were going through this kind of transition, pulling away a little bit from family and owning for yourself faith. Okay, but what did that look like? I mean, what was the context? You've pulled away, and now how'd you come back? What happened?
Well, particularly pulling away from me really meant that I realised I couldn't really lead this double life. I had my faith at home with my family. My family really brought that into our life. But then in the industry that I was working around and in school for me, I was around friends who weren't into their faith, and I felt that I had to choose one or the other. And I think that's why I ended up pulling away, because I really pulled away from my family at that time. And particularly for me, I think I got to the point where I realised that there was something more. I needed something more, and I'd been going off my own strength and just really living a life without extra substance that I needed. And I went to a summer school in Bathurst, back in New South Wales, once, and I came for once so open to anything that I was ready to receive, and I just felt an extreme love and peace and joy from that particular school.
But the surprise came because you went to the summer school not to participate so much, but because Dad happened to be there.
Yeah. So I got dragged along, kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to the context. You're being dragged along. It's like, oh yeah. All right. What happened?
At the summer school? Yeah. So again, being dragged along unwillingly, ready to see friends and make friends, but not really there for my faith, and not being that willing to open up. But then by being surrounded by all these people who were just so on fire and just seemed so happy and joyful, I didn't even understand why, I started to kind of want to be there and actually want to listen to the talks that were being given and get involved in the prayer that everyone was doing. And especially with my arts background, I got into the praise and worship, and I really enjoyed that. And particularly this one particular night, it was a late night session, and I stood there and I looked around and I realised that everyone was so on fire and so in love and so at peace, and were not afraid to show their faith for once. And that was really touching to me, and I really felt my own personal encounter with God that week. And I almost couldn't run from it. It was just so beautiful and so amazing. It just really helped me each time. Each day I woke up at this school and I'd be experienced with something new and amazing. And it was just so amazing to really experience and learn from that school a lot.
Okay, so I use the word God's magic kind of worked on you.
Yes, definitely. Especially, I don't think there was even one particular moment that was the best moment. I think even the journey since that conversion and that conversion of heart has been even more incredible, and I feel that I get blessed every single day, and it just gets better and better somehow.
Well, it is Tolkien's journey in Lord of the Rings, because life is it's a battle and it's a journey, and it's not just easy peasy, choose as I want. Okay, so you're on a journey with friends. Okay, you've got the ring to get. Right. Okay, so it's precious. This ring is precious now, and so you've got a chance to pay it forward. Right, you've received something from the team, and now you want to give it back. How?
Well, I think there are just so many opportunities, especially being on mission and on team. But particularly I really love really sharing from my experience to the kids, because I think I know what I would have loved to hear when I was younger as well, and realise that there is so much more, and realise that even though during school it can be so hard to be open about your faith and to really express that, but to really really show everyone that it's such a positive thing, and it can really be beneficial, and that in the later years of your life, and once you leave school, it all becomes a blur and you realise what's really important.
Okay, now let's talk about mission in its form here in Melbourne. How do you work as a team, and where do you go?
Well, as a team, we have 3 girls and 2 boys, and our team manager, and we're very close. We really treat each other like a family, and really genuinely take the time to get to know each other. We spend Wednesday to Friday going out to schools just around the Victorian area. So we go out to country schools as well as city schools. And we spend reflection days and retreat weekends, and spend time, playing games with the kids and sharing our life stories, and really bringing out just that important message that we're all loved by God, and just really our goal and our motto is to really bring hope to young Australians. So we do that, as well as we run a few youth groups, and we really are able to build stronger relationships with those kids, and that's how we get to know these kids around the area and really give back to those kids. All
right, so you're bringing light into their greyish world, dark world. How do they express their hopelessness, which is the other side of coin of hope? What are you hearing from the kids today?
Well, we have kids from all different walks of life, with hard things going on at home, with some kids suffering with mental illnesses, and even just a lot of kids suffering with bullying and just the pressures of being at school, just the peer pressures and the pressures that society puts on them. So there are many different backgrounds that the kids come from, and there are many issues that are placed on the kids at the moment that they're really struggling through, and just being strong in their faith is a really hard thing to do, especially during this time.
Do you bump into the girls self-harming?
No, not particularly, but it's very important to really look at that, and we really walk by these kids and are really aware of that.
Good. So you have a kind of an information opportunity or platform to inform the kids, what is happening and why these things go like they do?
Yeah, we take formation as a team and we really get to know our stuff. And then we really take the time to see what they need as kids and really bring that to them. And at our youth groups each week we have talks and we run workshops that can really benefit them and really help them in their journey themselves.
And how do you bring the art form of dance into that?
For me, that's a work in progress. I'm really trying to bring that out. But I think my first stop is praise and worship and bringing joy and that bubbliness and that positiveness to praise and worship and really rejoicing and praising the Lord. Okay,
well, we'll just hold that thought. You're watching Support Life and we'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Support Life. I'm Gavin Bolch and my guest is Bethany Toohey from Youth Missions Team Australia. Bethany, we're into the final act here and we were talking about how you're able to bring hope and joy into the praise and worship time.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I think it's a really important part of my life and I think I really love talking about this and so it makes me really passionate. Especially in praise and worship, I think bringing the arts and really bringing dance as a physical sense into it is really important. From a science perspective, it can really release those endorphins and really build that bubbliness and really brighten their moods as when in praise and worship. But particularly from an expression point of view and a real feeling of freedom and a sense of joy can really be felt through dancing, not just praying and not just through singing and rejoicing, but being able to actually dance and use your whole body. So I think that's been a real big importance to me. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's some scripture that talks about the trees raise their hands in praise. So you look at most plants and trees, they're pointing up, they're looking up to the sun, aren't they?
Isn't that true? Yeah.
So do you think joy is a gift?
Definitely. I think it's an absolute blessing to receive joy through the Lord and through the grace of God. And it's such an amazing lift that you can receive in life. And I think since my conversion, I think that's been one of the biggest and the best parts of my life that I've received.
Okay, so the joy of the Lord is there.
My strength.
All right. Now, some people, of course, choose chariots and they can cars and they put their hope and trust in other things, but you put your trust in the Lord.
Yes.
Now, how do the kids receive this? How do you convey this trust, this faith, this hope that you have?
Well, particularly walking alongside these kids and young kids, it's hard with all the crazy perceptions they're getting at the moment and through worldly views of everything and everything they're getting experienced to. I think just being just honest and really just opening up about our lives and where we've been. So I find that when in sharing my journey to kids and in sharing the times when I didn't believe in God or when I didn't believe in the Lord's strength and didn't think He could help me, I think that really helps them just realise that we're all human, we're all on this journey together. But then I love being able to show them the best side of the story and really tell them that it's not just this fake joy that that we can't really see. It's such a beautiful part. And I think the kids really respond well to that when they hear that. You can tell, you can see it in their eyes that they really benefit from that and they really like to hear our stories.
And of course, you talk about the pain, the battle.
Yeah, we get into everything. We just be honest about everything. So, and we're all young people on the youth mission team. So, we've all been through struggles ourselves, and we can really relate to where they're at. Mm-hmm.
So you're still hanging on to that precious ring,
yes,
Frodo.
Yes.
Okay.
Like Frodo.
So how do these young adults approach you? How do they come? Do they come during the session, or what's happening?
Well, we have particular youth groups, and that's where we mostly see them. So if we're at particular youth groups, just building that trust really makes them feel comfortable enough to come up to us. So some of us will catch up with them all the time. We'll take them out for coffee or take them out to the park, and building that relationship basically means that they just come to us, personally, and if they feel they have a connection with one of us in particular, they'll draw to us more, and and just come up and say, look, I've got stuff going on, can we just chat about it? And not in a counselling point of view, but just in a real friend mentoring way, yeah.
So it always takes time to do something good, and it takes effort, so it takes 4 times the effort to do something good. So coffee, going out, chatting, without an agenda.
Yeah, definitely. I think in that idea that we're giving and giving and giving, we also receive and receive and receive. The God's grace is just tripled towards us, and I think the more we give on team and the more we give to these kids, we just feel absolutely blessed every single time through those kids, through seeing how they improve and how they benefit from us is just amazing.
All right, now let me wind back to part 1, act 1. And you come onto the missions team.
Yeah.
But this giving is about sacrifice too. Now, you made a choice. Tell us about the dynamics of what you let go of.
As I said before, I'm so passionate about my dancing, and I really want to pursue my career in dance. Just before I joined the youth mission team, I got offered a contract to go overseas to be a dancer in Greece, just in a 5-star resort as a dancer, and it was basically a dream come true. But at the same time, I was asked to be a member on the youth mission team, and since my recent conversion, I just really felt called to join a youth mission team. And in making that decision, I actually felt so much peace that it kind of scared me that I was okay to drop dancing for once in my life for something so beautiful. And I think it gave me so much confidence knowing that this is God's work, and I kind of felt that God really said that my dancing is there. It's where He wants it, and I'm going to get there when I need to.
Okay, so you let go of something that is precious to you. And you're saying that God's returned the grace and the love 1,000,000 times over.
1,000,000 times over, and just in the lessons I've learnt, the lessons I've learnt, and the people I've seen change, and the friendships I've made, I really believe that this is exactly where I was meant to be, and it was a decision through God, which I'm really proud of.
So we're saying to anyone who's watching the show that you might have to let go of something for a season.
Yes, definitely. And in younger years, I never thought I'd be able to do that. I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have said it was worth it. I would have gone on my own strength and said to go for the dancing thing straight away. But without a doubt, it's been the best thing I've ever done.
Okay. When do you go back to Wollongong?
I go back at the end of this year, so that's my end of this term of youth mission team.
Yes. Okay. And what's the best memory you're taking back, do you think?
That's a very hard question because I've had such an amazing experience. I think the best moment I've ever had was one girl who came up to me once, quite recently, who shared a really similar story to me. She's kind of in the dumps of her story at the moment, but came to me and told me that through coming to youth group, she realised that she could actually see Jesus as a friend, and through friendship problems and relationship breakdowns, she said that for once she'd never actually felt so comfortable in talking to someone when she talked to Jesus, and she said it was through just hearing that we'd gone through those hard times that really helped her. I think that's probably the best memory I have for being on the youth mission team.
Bethany, thanks for that, and Jesus
Thank
is my
you.
best invisible friend too. You've been watching Support Life, and that's all for our program today. Join us again next week. Goodbye.